I wonder the lock between. Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. Is that a body? No. There's a guy right there. Oh boy.
I got that Venom, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up and I'm ready to snap any momentum.
Hey guys, Kwame here, and today I am bringing you another beginner's guide video for Escape from Tarkov. This will be a PvP breakdown video of one of my past raids where I run into a squad and other players and we're going to discuss how I dealt with them. This guide will contain my analysis of my gameplay to help educate beginning players in order to help them deal with multiple players. In Escape from Tarkov, gunfights will break out of nowhere where bullets will be whizzing past your head left and right and you only have a couple of seconds to make a decision. We are going to talk about these decisions and why I chose to make them. Just an FYI, I was still somewhat new to Escape from Tarkov at the time of this raid, and I made a bunch of mistakes, and I mean a whole bunch, but that is 100% okay. It's alright to make mistakes, and I am going to talk about why that is later in the video. Also, just as a side note, this is not a step-by-step guideline video. This video is more about making decisions, how and why I choose to make certain decisions, and also my thought process during the encounters. This will then help you, the new and beginning player, deal with fighting multiple players so you can take this information on board and adapt it to your own playstyles. I will also be sharing some tips and strategies I do throughout the video. Now, I am by no means a great player, but I have learned many things since I started playing Escape from Tarkov due to trial and error, experience, and practice. And I am more than happy to share my experiences with you. That being said, let's begin.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Is that a body? No.
Okay, this is a really bad spawn, so I wanted to get the hell out of here ASAP and run across the road and get to the other side of the boilers. Now, the reason why this is a really bad spawn is because players will be rushing this area trying to get here with the intention to get superior positioning by trying to pick off other players. So I wanted to get across to the other side where the boilers are, knowing that there are going to be other players spawning in. It is best to go, if you're spawning close to the boilers, it is best to go clear out the spawns so no one else can spawn in behind you and shoot you in the back.
There's a guy right there.
Okay, let's recap. Let's talk about everything that happened back there. As I'm running up, I run into a geared player sitting there in waiting. He obviously spawned really close to me, and I happened to spot him and take him out. If I ran to the right, out in the open, that player could have very well have pushed to the big hole, and he could have easily shot me in the back while I was in the open, and there was nothing I could do about it. That's why I push up to the big hole ASAP to prevent that from happening. I actually made a big mistake here. Any idea what it was? I forgot to put my gun on full auto. I was so concerned about the spawn and getting the hell out of there that I forgot to put my gun on full auto. Yikes. I start to hear gunshots, and that tells me there's at least 2 people here on this side, so I need to jump over and close the gap ASAP. Happened to run into this guy, he was just running up. Unfortunately for him, I happened to take him out. I happen to see a player's feet right there behind the truck, so that's partly reason why I didn't want to stay out there after I killed the last player, because it could be easily someone else close by who just happens to shoot you right in the back after a gunfight. That's why as soon as I killed the last player, I instantly moved towards the building inside to get to cover where it's safe. Now this is what I call a positioning nade. It's just something that I made up, and basically the purpose of this nade is to enable me to do something, or it forces my opponent to do something. And in this case, it is forcing my opponent to back away. It is preventing him from pushing me, you see. And it is enabling me time and space to actually get back into the building and get my bearings and think about my next move. After the nade blows up, I wanted to use the sound of the explosion of the nade to be able to push around the outside of the building, but then I happened to run to another player. Okay. Let's rewind here. I want to talk about why I was able to kill this player coming up on me like that. It was about at this point where I heard this player coming up from the back end of the building trying to flank me. Now, all he knows is that I am still in the building, because that other player that I saw at the truck was clearly his teammate. Now, his teammate clearly didn't see me move out of the building, because he had no chance to, because after I threw that nade, he had to have been nowhere near it, so he had to have completely backed off. While during that time, I had already moved out of the building, and so he's communicating with his teammate, and probably something along the lines of, there's a guy still in the building, still in the building, and I've already moved out of there, so he doesn't know that, the other guy. So he's running out, trying to get position on the doorway, trying to get the kill on me. It was about at this stage where we actually heard this player moving up on us. And look at the positioning that we're in, okay? We're very close to the corner, right? And he's still got to move a little bit of ways away to be able to get to that corner. When you hear a player coming up on you and he's pretty close by and you're that far away from the corner, it is best to go and meet your opponent. Let me explain why. Now, think of it from his perspective, you see. He's running up, he's got no idea that I've pushed out already, his teammate would have told him that I'm still in the building, and he's trying to sprint up to this point as quickly as possible. And because I'm so close to the corner, I only need to take a couple of steps and I can go out and aggressively face him. While he will be sprinting, you see, he'll be sprinting and his gun will be swaying left and right, so he's not going to be able to have time to react, stop, and shoot because of the running animation. So on his screen, all he knows as far as he's concerned is that he's running up trying to get position, then out of nowhere a player just appears out in front of him and he's probably thinking to himself, oh darn, I messed up. And at that point he knows there's nothing he can do about it, simply because I got there first. And because I got there first, I was able to stop and shoot him before he could react. Because he's so close to me, all I need to do was point fire to get the kill.
I ran into quite a situation there, fellas. There's still more.
This incoming nade tells me that there's still players close by and that I should be on my toes. The flashbang gave away the position of an incoming player. Now I know there's someone else around. In these situations, it's okay to stop momentarily, listen in, get more information before making a decision on what you should do next. Right here where he throws a flashbang, and I can tell by the footsteps he's trying to push me. He's trying to push aggressively. So once again I throw that positioning nade that we just talked about, and I try and move around the building. in order to get a different angle on my opponent. Look where my opponent is looking. He had no idea that I had ran all the way down and around the building and I'd already have flanked him. Look at him. He's got no idea, no clue whatsoever. And that's because of the positioning nade. It gave me the opportunity to make this play. Because I threw that positioning nade, it forced my opponent to not be able to aggressively push me like he wanted to. The flashbang went off. He's hearing the ringing sounds from the flashbang. He couldn't hear me running away, and it gave me the opportunity to make the move that I needed to. And because of that, he had to reset, and now he had no idea what had happened or where I had run off to. This is an important lesson, and where I also made a mistake. I am attempting to loot the bodies. Just because you killed some players does not mean that there's no one else around. Always be on your toes and be on your guard, because you never know, you might be dealing with an uninvited guest. I can tell by the angle of where this player was shooting at. He was shooting at someone else through the doorway of the building. So I need to immediately reposition, and I need to get the hell out of there. So I try and throw this nade, and I'm trying to use this explosion from the grenade to muffle the sounds of my opponent so I can reposition. I have a feeling this player is still in the building, so I decided to throw a nade in there to try and get a reaction out of him. Basically, I am trying to get him to react or move in order to give away his position so I can confirm that he is in the building.
Good, no more grenades either. Not sure where he's at. He could be at the back somewhere, just like camping or something.
Right now, I am attempting to look for this player, but I don't want to expose myself too much because I have a feeling he's sitting around potentially holding a corner, and once I expose myself, he'll shoot me in the back. And this is very dangerous because in those dark corners, I can't actually see him, but he can see me. So that's why I am being very cautious when entering in that building.
I think he's in there, but he's holding like a room or something.
I decided to loot the bodies for some nades. Now this is a very good idea, especially in this type of situation. Basically my plan is to nade the corners to try and force him out of hiding. And even if I don't hear anything, it limits the possibilities of where my opponent could be. So by nading in the back corners, for example, it limits to only one possibility of where he could be hiding.
That's what I want. No? Fuck is he? What? Where'd he put his stuff?
So it turns out this player was hiding in the back corner near the lockers this entire time, not making a sound. And he didn't take shots at me before because I didn't fully expose myself. And he wanted the clear shot to be able to take me out 100%. He wanted to be able to shoot me in the back, easy kills, but I didn't let him. I didn't allow him. I didn't give him that opportunity because of the way that I played the situation.
Why is there so many people here? Unbelievable, so many people here. Bad for loot. Oh, you've wrecked 7? Oh, radio. Yep. Okay.
Remember what I said about those uninvited guests? Always gotta be on your toes, man.
Is there anyone else? Anyone else want to disturb me while I'm looting? Anyone? Anyone else?
There's just a couple of things I wanted to touch on before we end this video. I mentioned at the start of the video about my mistakes and why it's okay to make them. I even had my stupid laser on for the majority of the time when I shouldn't have. I say this because the green laser gives away your position. Any competent player will see my laser and have a fairly good idea of where I am. But that's okay, because I wanted to talk about why my mistakes were okay. What was the key component about my mistakes in this raid, and why am I saying it is okay? Any ideas? It's because none of my mistakes got me killed. I made a bunch of mistakes this raid. I made a whole bunch of mistakes, but none of them got me dead. So it's okay. When it's your turn to be in this scenario and you make mistakes, you're outnumbered, you're not sure what the play is, you're a new player, you're panicking because you hear a whole bunch of footsteps coming from enemies, coming right your way. You know what the fuck to do. Just remember to take it easy, think about what you're doing, breathe, don't worry about messing up, and just do your best, man. The more you get put into these situations, the better you will get at it. It's that simple. Like I said, I made heaps of mistakes this raid, but I played my cards right, and I was able to come out on top of this raid feeling pretty fucking awesome. And if I can do it, you can do it too, man. When I was engaging with the enemy players, I always try my best to isolate my opponents. And what I mean by that is, did you ever notice that every single gunfight I took was 1v1s? And that multiple players weren't able just to bum rush me and just charge me down? Some of it was good, really good and fortunate timing. Yes, that's true. But a lot of it was because of certain moves that I made. I always position myself so that when I'm fighting with a player, it's very hard for another player to shoot me at the exact same time. And that's what I'm talking about. Always position yourself so that multiple players can't shoot at you at the exact same time. And you do this by being mobile and aggressive. Don't just sit there and wait and let yourself be cornered by multiple players. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, you know, and it happens. It's Tarkov, it's part of the game. Don't be that guy who always makes excuses about why they died, or the desync, or the lag, Yes, it happens, okay? It happens. You can't let that decide what's going to happen to you in this game, okay? You can't say, oh, I'm just gonna lag me and, you know, desync me. I'm not gonna be able to kill anything. That's crap, Sharon. That's crap, Sharon. You can always do something better. You can always play a situation differently, and you just gotta sit back and think about it. Think about what you're doing, man. Think about what you're doing and how you should play every situation, every scenario. So then, therefore, instead of looking for the excuses, you're thinking of the solution. You're thinking about how to improve your gameplay so you can become a better player. And so next time when it happens, you'll know exactly what you should do instead. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and I know it was a tad long, but I tried to make it as short as possible. There was just too many things I felt like I needed to explain, and I wanted to be clear about the reasons why I do certain things and my thought process, so then I could therefore help you guys understand how to deal with multiple players. If you guys have an idea for a video you want me to do, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future content. All my footage comes from my live streams, which can be found at twitch.tv/Kwame_AU. Schedule and other details are in the description box below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you on the live stream.